Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Mark.
And I'm Britton.
And today we have, once again, a very, very, very special guest. Jenny. Say hi, Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
All right, so...
She made it funny.
So today we're going to... we watched Hoodwinked. And we're going to talk about the movie Hoodwinked. It was from 2005. And it was rated PG. These are the two things we know about them. So
well, we know other things.
It was animated.
No, that's
debatable.
Has a star-studded cast. But why wait over our discussion on this? Let's just jump right in and get started. So, Britton, why don't you give us a little rundown of what Hoodwinked was about?
So Hoodwinked was the story of Little Red Riding Hood told from a variety of different perspectives. Predominantly, the titular Red Riding Hood, Grandi, the wolf, and the woodsman. And it's a kind of a crime scene, almost whodunit type situation where there's a private investigator and the police trying to figure out who to arrest because they don't know if the wolf was trying to eat anyone. They don't know if the woodsman was a lunatic trying to murder everyone. They didn't know if Grandi was kind of a drug dealer, I guess.
And specifically, there was also a goodies thief going around stealing recipes and putting a lot of people out of work.
Yeah.
And so all of these, this whole scenario was wrapped, all the different stories that they were told is wrapped up into this goodies thief in one way, shape, or form.
Oh, is that why people were going out? I figured it was the recession.
Nope. The recession hadn't hit yet.
Goodies thief.
It was the goodies thief stealing recipes.
Man, in 3 years, they're going to be surprised.
Yeah, they're not recuperating in the deep, dark woods. But, so yeah, that was the story. We get to see 4, basically, points of view of the same event, and each one kind of has a different lead-up, and each one kind of explains the innocence or guilt or whatever they have of their own specific adventure.
Yeah.
And then at the end, they find out who the goodies thief is, and they murder him.
Yeah.
They do not murder him, and he's the goody bandit.
Okay, I'm sorry. I figured that she was going to chime in sooner or later.
Spoilers alert, it was none of them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was Andy Dick all along.
Yep.
Surprise.
Yeah. Like, not the rabbit he played, but actually Andy Dick.
Like, he stole as much as he could from the set, and he just hightailed it out of there.
In fact, he took all the royalties. That's why the animation was so bad.
That's why we haven't seen Andy Dick in anything in such a long time.
Yeah.
The animation's not that bad. You keep going on about how bad
the animation was like the graphics for the most part was not bad. For 2005, but the animation itself was a little robotic.
Yeah, it was kind of rough. But this is a movie that Jenny picked out. So
yes.
Jenny, why don't you give us a little bit of a kind of a backstory of how you stumbled upon this movie and why you decided to just kind of show it to us. Is it a movie you like? Is it a movie you hate? Come on, go for it.
What?
Go for it. Just tell us. Talk.
Wow. No, I love this movie. I stumbled upon this movie while I was working at the video store.
Yes.
And it came out, like you said, in 2005. So it showed up. We put it on the new release wall, and we were only allowed to play PG and G-rated movies. Mm-hmm. So, we found Lost Skeleton, then stumbled across Hoodwinked. And it was a short, cute little film that I didn't actually sit down and watch it until I've already, quote-unquote, seen it maybe 27 times.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So, I already knew the whole shebangles, and I already knew all the quotes and all the songs because it is slightly a musical.
Yeah. The music I thought was pretty good. Little Red Riding Hood's song in the beginning, I thought Andy Dick's song was pretty good towards the end.
Yeah, I think there was 3 songs where the characters sing, then maybe another 4 or 5 songs of background stuff.
Yeah.
Who was the that's right, the goat.
The goat sang the song.
The goat was the
best
showstopper.
Yeah.
The Schnitzel song.
I guess
I
the
thought it was
schnitzel.
thought it was more of a theme for his little.
For the schnitzel truck. I like the schnitzel song. It's my favorite treat. So good. But so
I can take
I've
it or
heard
leave
better
it.
schnitzel songs.
you can put it in your Lederhosen.
Will.
So I love the whole like theme of the movie, and then I finally sat down and watched it and realized it was so much more clever with all the little in jokes and like the fast-paced wit to the dialogue, especially in the beginning. Like they are just like flying with like insults essentially. Her like, all right, little red, and they call her like 7 different things throughout the first 7 minutes.
Yeah, it was very. I thought coming into it, it was going to be your almost a Nickelodeon level kind of child's show, but it actually had a lot of clever stuff that I think adults would appreciate, not in terms of adult humor, but in terms of cleverness.
Yeah, I do think that this was a pretty decent movie. I will say that going into it, I really didn't know what to really expect, and I did find that the editing and the pacing, as you said, of like there's a lot of fast editing going on, but also the dialogue, the back and forth between everybody, especially for me, like after the investigation starts and they're kind of like going on and talking all their telling all their stories, like there was kind of a almost reminiscent of out of all things Clue, because Clue had this very dialogue that was just chock full of just witty banter, basically back and forth. And but I will say that to me the movie really opened up with the when the wolf told his story, the big bad wolf.
Yeah.
Because the first, in the beginning when they're setting everything up, it was okay.
Yeah, it's a very standard because you start with a Red Riding Hood. And
exactly.
From the little girl's point of view, it's very like, I was going to Granny's, I saw this creeper.
Exactly.
And then this happened.
So yeah, it was like that was I was like, okay, this is fine. That was my mindset, just fine. And then the wolf started telling his story, and it was really funny. I think the point that won me over is because the wolf, spoiler alert, he's not just a big bad asshole. He is an investigative journalist. So he puts on all these different disguises, and he's trying to find clues and leads and all this stuff. And the point where I realized that, hey, this is kind of funny, is when he goes into this like sheep's pen dressed as a sheep, and he starts talking to the one sheep that's a snitch, and the sheep that's a snitch has like this slicked back hair and a gold chain. And that's when I just kind of lost it. Like, this is ridiculous. This is right up my alley. I like this.
Yeah, they really did as a kind of runner-up for the Shrek related movies. It was a very well put together attempt to capitalize on that. I would say, worthy of the praise in and of itself, and not being compared to Shrek.
I will say the one thing that I do like this, even though I like Shrek, I like the Shrek movies. The one thing this movie does have over Shrek a little bit is that I don't think there was any like gross out humor in this movie whatsoever.
No.
Shrek relies so much on like burps and farts and smelly onions and whatever.
Yeah.
But this movie didn't really have to worry about that.
Yeah, it doesn't lean into that at all.
Yeah, not at all. So, because it replaced all that, I guess, with just like, all right, we'll just keep on doing witty banter, everything.
The one time it had a gross out moment was just the child puts a schnitzel in his nose.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like a second.
And that's it. I mean, he goes deep, too. He's into nasal.
Like, he was digging. He was digging for gold.
He found it.
Oh, yeah. And so did we.
And so did we.
One thing I want to talk about with this movie, kind of also revolves back to the Big Bad Wolf, is the cast. The cast of the movie is, I think, a pretty good cast for the most part. But the Big Bad Wolf, to me, really steals the show, as he should. And that's, of course, Patrick Warburton, who is best known naturally as Putty from Seinfeld,
Yeah.
or to more modern audiences, he's Joe from Family Guy, and he's about a million other voice character actors. I think he was Kronk or something, or Conk.
He was live action
Kronk.
Tick.
It's Kronk. Oh, he has a live action Tick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is in so many things. I've seen him in so many movies and bit parts, and he has a very distinctive voice,
Yeah.
Yeah, this entire cast, like, it was really an ensemble.
It really
It was.
I know that there's quote unquote 4-ish main characters, but really, like, it was all peppered.
Yeah.
You know, everybody had a bit, and everybody had almost the same screen time. I mean, Little Red had a little bit more.
Yeah, because being like is kind of the focus. And Anne Hathaway as Little Red, she does fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she doesn't she gets her barbs in just like anybody else. I'm a pretty big fan of Glenn Close. I just love Glenn Close because I think that she can do a lot of comedy work, and people don't kind of realize that. They always think of her as somewhat more serious.
But she's almost like unrecognizable as the granny.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah, she
the
does
voice
do a
that she
good granny
uses
voice.
is genius.
And I think Jim Belushi plays the Schnitzel guy. He's pretty all right.
I would have never clocked him for that.
I don't know too much about him except for according to Jim, so I can't really say
I don't know
one
much.
thing or another that he was in. And I know we already said that Andy Dick plays the little
Boingo.
bad guy. Yeah,
Boingo the bunny.
The one character I do want to point out that was actually really, really funny, and I think probably one of the most underrated characters in this movie was, oddly enough, Exhibit as a cop bear.
He's the police chief.
Yeah, he was
a
Fuzzy Wuzzy, wasn't he? Yeah, that was his
Yeah.
name. And he was really, really funny. I really liked him. And Anthony Anderson plays a sidekick, and I like Anthony Anderson a lot, but I didn't like him too much in this.
I didn't even know that was Anthony Anderson. I didn't even recognize his voice.
It didn't seem like he was really putting his heart into this
Yeah.
one. Like,
Well, I felt like he was only there to set up the jokes for Exhibit to come and like bust through them. Mm-hmm.
And which is funny because usually, like, Anthony Anderson is usually the standout in every role every movie he's in, even the bad ones. Like, he was in Kangaroo Jack, and he was the best part of that movie. He was in Scream 4 and was the best part of that.
Yeah.
And Transformers, I think.
Right.
He was in Transformers?
Yeah, he was the hacker guy.
Huh.
I ate the whole plate of donuts,
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Donuts.
I couldn't eat another bite, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. So yeah, it was a pretty decent cast overall.
Yeah. Like I have no notes on the performance. I think it was solid. I think the writing was
On the wall, yeah.
On the wall. I think the writing was good. I thought I thought for what they were doing, it was absolutely acceptable.
Thanks.
That's glowing praise.
pretty good.
Absolutely acceptable. This
amazing.
movie was.
Put it on the box art.
Britton Leonard, absolutely acceptable.
That's great.
Wow.
So I do kind of want to talk about a little bit more about the voice cast. If you could have just one extra, just out of the blue character, especially from fairy tales, and you could have like another voice attached to it. I know there's a sequel, so it might be, who knows? Our ideas might actually be in the sequel. But like, what would you kind of pick? Like, if you could pick another random fairy tale character to pluck out of the ether and put into like a movie of this setting or caliber, and then you could have any kind of random person in the world like voice it.
Now, do they have to be alive in 2005?
No. They can be dead or not born yet, or however you want to take that one.
Okay.
All right. Strange.
Let's see. That is...
It's really a two-pronged question, because it's like,
Right.
what random character would you want and who would you want to voice it?
I mean, they did make references to like the Muffin Man.
Yeah.
The Muffin Man, they made references to Rumpelstiltskin.
That would probably be one I would put in. I have a few, but I think Rumpelstiltskin, thrown in here might be cool, and I would have him played by Willem Dafoe.
That's a good one.
I think that's tight casting right there. That's good.
Yeah, it is.
I want to avoid Rumpelstiltskin because you're obviously going to get compared to the fourth Shrek movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Which they had a decent enough Rumpelstiltskin. I think I'm not even gonna get to the backstory of that.
I've never seen the fourth one.
I would have loved them to make Paul Bunyan a character, because the whole one storytelling is Paul Bunyan's foot cream, his bunion cream.
Yeah.
Paul Bunyan's cream is having a commercial being shot, so they need a woodsman to come audition. So I would have loved to see kind of like what Paul Bunyan in this world is like. Are they an actual woodsman, or would they just be like a facade? Like that's just they hire somebody to be the face, kind of like Brawny.
They're divas or
like
something.
Paul Bunyan is a real he's like Roy Rogers. Like Roy Rogers was a cowboy on television.
Not just a burger place.
Yeah, not just a burger place.
Huh.
But I think he'd be played by Danny DeVito.
Paul Bunyan?
Yeah. And he's like this short little, like, obnoxious guy.
Right. I was thinking either like a Danny DeVito, or even like what's his name in Stardust, who plays the pirate?
Oh, Robert
De Niro.
Robert De Niro, but like very like gay pirate.
I was thinking the complete opposite. I was thinking it would be John Goodman.
He would do it.
He would do a good job.
He would do a good job as a legitimate Paul Bunyan.
But as a shifty little Paul Bunyan, I guess one of those two would probably work pretty well.
Like another one would like maybe a Humpty Dumpty played by
John Goodman.
Yeah. John Goodman would do a good Humpty Dumpty.
He is so versatile.
Yes. Like I would. You could put John Goodman. I'd have John Goodman as Little Bo Peep.
I
think Bo Peep would actually be excellent, because you get to see the sheep.
Mm-hmm.
That would just tie it in.
What
was his name? Morty?
Oh, the
the informant.
Yeah. I would have Baba Black Sheep, and would be played by Daniel Day-Lewis. He's versatile.
He's overplayed.
He's overplayed. You don't want to see Daniel Day-Lewis as.
No.
But he's also so method. Like, what would he do? Like, go and live in a sheep?
The man.
I think you got. He would live in a sheep.
Like
he would just live in a sheep.
Like he would go out into the field and eat grass
for months.
Yeah.
Until he was the Baba.
Well, no, until he was in the hospital.
Well, he was in the hospital, probably. Yeah. He's that committed.
I remember thinking, like, I heard legends of this man on film, and then I saw the Lincoln movie, and how he's just an old man telling stories.
Yeah. I don't know anything that he's been in. I've seen clips of him, and I was like, he's probably good. I don't know. I've only seen him in clips. He's probably better than what I'm being shown here.
Right,
no, he was good in There Will Be Blood.
I just remember, like, one of my friends used to just go on and on about, like, well, he's a Venetian cobbler and he gets into his well. I'm like, I don't care.
A Venetian cobbler?
Yeah, that's every time we brought up Daniel Day-Lewis.
It was always a Venetian cobbler story.
Venetian cobbler story. I'm like, why?
So,
I don't like pies.
Did he go to Venice and make shoes?
That's what I was told. Yeah.
All right.
He did that for Lincoln, I guess.
Yeah, who knows what role he was doing that for, or if that was just his passion, and like everything else is just funding that passion.
Daddy, I want to be a shoemaker. You're gonna be an actor? Now get out there and act.
Daddy.
But I want to be a shoemaker, Daddy.
Well, then you better work for it.
Okay. Now, here's the big question.
What's that?
I think that kind of like I want to hear what your thoughts of this character would be and who they're played by and everything.
Okay.
But I want Mother Goose to be in there.
All right.
I want to know how you would play the character and how you would assign the actor.
I want to say, hold on, what's her name?
Mother Goose. I just told you.
It is Margaret Dumont.
Oh. Okay, I can get behind that.
That was a panic response.
Okay.
I forget what her name is. The lady from Murder, She Wrote.
Oh, Angela Lansbury.
Yeah, Angela Lansbury is, I think, would make a good Mother Goose.
I think that can be... Okay, I can get behind that.
My, instant response is, the Miss Piggy.
Oh,
So,
Frank Oz.
Frank Oz. Yeah. So I would think,
Yeah,
Frank Oz
I can get behind that, too.
Yeah.
as Mother Goose.
See, here's what I'm thinking.
Yikes.
Since she is the... Yeah, you just really brace yourselves in. Strap yourselves in for this one.
Every time.
Since she is basically the king of this world, I'm assuming, or the queen, rather.
Mother Goose?
Mother Goose. All the
Yeah.
nursery rhymes
All
are
the
Mother
nursery
Goose's.
around Mother Goose.
All right.
Kind of, unless you're thinking about, Aesop's and
Yeah, but for all...
Hans Christian.
Yeah, but for all intents and purposes, these are all like Mother Goose nursery rhymes. So I'm... This is where it's gonna get a little weird. I imagine she's giant. I imagine she's kind of like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, like huge.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Like-
No, that checks out.
That makes sense? All right. And
She is a deity.
yes, basically.
They do have to worship her.
And maybe voiced by, I don't know, Alanis Morissette.
John Goodman.
Yeah, John
John
Goodman.
Goodman.
Mine was a Dogma reference, so
Oh, I get
I
it. Well,
got
she
it.
didn't speak in that movie.
Exactly.
Oh, she said boop.
yeah.
No,
yeah.
I agree. I think Alanis would be wonderful.
It would really suck when the Ghostbusters come in and try to cross the streams at her, but I think that
That's not going to work.
Nope, she's got too much power in that land.
Either that or they're going to be eating goose for months.
That goose is literally cooked.
Oh my gosh. That sounds so wrong.
What kind of society eats the body of their god?
I'm looking at you.
Look at me for.
You know why.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
We're
So-
No, I don't know. I just want...
I know this. It's like a
No.
no soap thing. But
Yeah.
okay, I can get behind that.
So now we analyzed what that it was a good movie, but how would we make it? I'm not going to say make it better because I think on its own it's good.
Mm-hmm.
How would
we
we
would just-
make it?
How would we make it ours?
Yeah,
Well, I think I already started with
With
Mother
your-
Goose and then the
Mother Goose
Ghostbusters
for a
coming in. All right, so how would we make it ours?
Wow. I'm getting a lot of shade
I know,
on the
right?
couch over
What
here.
I'm throwing it like hardcore.
Oh my god. I would give Boingo more time.
You picked the one worst answer there was. No, go. I want to hear. I want to
No.
hear. it,
like
though.
oddly enough, even Andy Dick was not that annoying in this. That annoying.
I think maybe because they reeled the character back, but I thought
Yeah.
it could have been a grander song.
I-
The villain song could have been a little grander.
Yeah, I wish it was a lot more of a big show tunesy number.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I did like that Andy Dick kind of went from being cute and fuzzy to maniacal, almost like pretty much at a drop of a hat. I was like, that's actually a very you did
very,
that well.
Yeah, very manic response.
Yeah. But if we're gonna expand
Boingo.
Oingo's Boingo, okay, Boingo's
Not Oingo Boingo.
Boingo's route,
Just
or
Boingo the bunny.
Boingo the bunny's role. Like, I think that maybe we should make it more of a like. He was so obviously the bad guy from frame one. We figured it out.
Oh yeah.
And I kind of want to make him seem more like a more fleshed out character so that it actually feels more traitorous or more of a betrayal when he turns out to be the bad guy.
Like maybe Granny stole the book from his family during World War II.
Okay, go on.
Boingo's village was was stormed by Russian soldiers, and Granny was among them.
So you want us to kind of side with Boingo? I just feel bad for him. The poor bunny of the time.
Go on. I'm kind of curious.
And it's a vendetta.
Okay.
Like, it's not a healthy one, as no vendetta ever is. Oh, where is that?
Oh.
Could you get it? Could you get it? Could you get it? Could you get it? Thank you. And even and his memories are so foggy from the events, he's not even sure if it's Granny.
That's actually a pretty interesting idea.
But it's just his family's recipes, or like the little bakery that his family owned when they were stormed by Russian foot soldiers and burned to the ground, was stolen, and he just puts Grandi in the plate. Grandi, Hugh Granty. Just makes her the focus of his ire.
I have a different take on Boingo the bunny.
Okay.
I actually want there to be a relationship, a platonic relationship between him and Grandi. I want him to have been like really, really sick when he was very young, and she nurses him back to health for years and years. Like, she's feeding him soup every day until he gets strong, and then when when all the stuff happens in the in her cabin with the wolf and all this stuff, he tries his best to defend him and ends up like getting his leg broken or something like that. He walks out in a cast, but the whole thing was a setup. Like, he intentionally broke his leg and did all this so they would never for a million years suspect that he was behind it all along.
All right.
And it was because that he knew of her dark past, Granny's dark past of being an extreme, cyclist and racer and all this stuff. That's a plot twist. She actually is an extreme danger sports person, and he knows that she's been lying to Red all this time, and it kind of in his warped mind he feels that her betrayal to Red is almost tantamount to a betrayal to him because she raised him too. So he lashes out and does all of this. That's much more sad, actually. That'd be a sad movie.
Sad movie.
So now, let's see what you want to do, Jenny. How you gonna?
How am I supposed to top storming of the Russians?
Mm-hmm.
And Boingo breaks his leg, so he's not a suspect?
Yes. Yes. This is... You work better under pressure.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I could make it actually better.
Make it Jenny.
Well, I think that Boingo, in the very beginning, should have been cuter.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And less in it, but in it more. Does that make sense?
I think so.
More background instead of chiming in with those little Andy Dickisms.
Yeah, every story kind of has him not just in it but front and center in it kind of thing. Right.
He kind of pops in and he's like, "Wow, that's pretty bad."
Yeah. Wow, your stuff got stolen. How'd that happen? Wonder how that happened. It didn't happen. It couldn't happen. It happened.
Yeah. Yeah. Or making a sinister face at the end of a frame or something like that. But I think making him a little bit cuter, maybe giving him his own cute music in the beginning would have been better to make him more villainous. But also, if he actually just was cute and wasn't a villain and he didn't understand, he just wanted to collect goodies.
Huh.
Not get children addicted to goodies.
So he's not
Boingonium.
Evil. Okay.
Yeah, he's not evil. He's just misunderstood because he's but I like goodies, so I can has goodies.
Yeah.
I collect goodies. I'm just like you.
And then they execute him.
Right. And you listen here, Boingo.
See, when he turns evil, the song may be evil, but I want to really show that he's he's evil now. Like, I want him to smother the actor, the schnitzel actor, with a pillow, and that's when you know that, oh my gosh, this rabbit's really evil.
Well, he did hire the Euro.
That's right.
Yeah.
To
Euro
murder
X
Granny.
Games to murder. Yeah, not just Granny, but her whole X team.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't know what happened to Kevin Michael
They're
Richardson.
dead. They're dead. Like they toppled, and then the avalanche got them.
That's right.
That's right. The avalanche trolley just wiped them all out.
Yep.
Well, at least they had snickerdoodles as their last meal.
The avalanche that failed to kill the bad guys most surely killed the other racers.
Right. Those poor X gamers.
Like, they were already falling down. Like, they were like trying to get back up, and then just covered with snow.
She didn't even address them by name. She didn't even give a shit.
Yeah, she didn't even call for help. She actually caused the avalanche.
Right. She literally looks around, then looks at like detonation blocks in her hand. She's like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Boo-ba-doo-boo.
Yeah,
Skidoo-ba-doo.
Like, I'm not
Throws them
losing
on the
this
thing.
race.
Yes.
She's like, right. I'm going to get that medal. It's the last thing I do.
And yeah, like she literally grabs the trophy before the the avalanche covers the
Murdered
village.
her friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Literally in that moment, she's telling Red, because she sees Red in horrible danger, falling to her death, and she's just like, "Hey, Red, use your hood, Red."
Yeah. And then she just
Not like she's not hang gliding and she could like maneuver herself, showing earlier that
herself
she
away.
could move up and down within the air. She could have literally just lowered herself just a little bit and saved Red.
yeah, but she didn't. Just
Granny was a selfish Bosch.
yeah, a Hieronymus Bosch.
Oh.
No, it's a good point. Like, well, first off, I think Little Red Riding Hood had a little bit of a muted response to seeing her granny in the clouds and then ascend back up. Use the hood, Grandma. What are you doing, Sky Grandma?
Or she could have just rubbed her eyes and like poured out whatever she was drinking.
Yeah.
Onto the ground. Yeah. I think that I think that's it.
Do you think the grandma was the bad person all along?
I'm starting to wonder now, with her callous disregard of her friends.
Right, and not giving a Cracker Barrel to her only grandchild,
Yeah.
who was like, "Here, do my bidding. Make sure my recipes don't get stolen,
Yeah.
and deliver all the goodies across the country of the forest."
And all that poisoning she did.
Right.
Yeah. Like what was that? What Little Red Riding Hood was doing? Is just delivering goodies to everyone?
Yeah, she was a drug
Yeah.
dealer.
She was, yeah, well,
I'm sorry. She was a goodie dealer.
she's a goodie dealer.
Now,
Yeah, she delivers the goodies to all the people.
could we say that she and Granny also contributed to everyone else going out of business?
I don't know. I think that was directly related to the recipes being stolen.
Yeah, I think it was the recipes being stolen, but I also thought that in a way, when the wolf was talking, that he mentioned that like she didn't just deliver Granny's goodies. Like,
all the
she
goodies.
delivered all the goodies.
Oh, okay.
Because he was like, all the goodies passed through her hands at some point. So she would be the perfect suspect to steal all of the recipes.
Like she's like a kingpin. Like she has her hands in every one of the businesses of the forest.
Yeah, she's got her hands messy and all that batter.
Like, even if Red is just delivering everybody else's goodies, it's still Red. It's like, it'd be like Keebler saying, "All right, we'll deliver all your baked goods and cookies and crackers, Nabisco and everything, but we're gonna use our own delivery methods to send it out, so we get a piece of your pie too."
Yeah, that's
It's Monopoly.
yeah, that's Monopoly.
Yeah.
It is, but you didn't know it was because even the detective didn't know that was Granny's granddaughter.
Oh shit.
Like, everybody was like, "Granny Puckett? The cookie lady?" What?
So that's like
So like nobody knew that they were even related. So really, this is a pyramid scheme on many levels.
so it's like secretly finding out that Amazon owns UPS.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, do you even think that she's related to Little Red, or is that just somebody that she found and was grooming to be the next?
Yeah, like she has a
next
closet.
Yeah.
She has a closet full of those hoods.
failed Reds.
There's a basement of skeletons.
Oh my god, this is so dark.
Okay, so let's get.
No, I love it.
Let's change gears a little bit. Now I want to explore the Wolf story a little bit more, because I don't want him to just be. He's an investigative journalist, sure, and he's always putting on different disguises, but I want him to get caught up in like something so far above his head, like he has to pretend to be somebody that he really shouldn't be pretending to be. You know?
He finds out that Grandi is rubbing elbows with some high people in Washington.
Yeah, and like he's trying to put on a disguise, pretend he's like just a reporter or something, and they want to like
Oh, yeah, you found our evil lair. Like,
oh, I'm just an evil guy too, do all evil things.
oh, prove it? All right. Here, take this gun and shoot that unarmed man.
Or something like that.
Right, and
like he's got to really.
I gotta do it.
Like I think it's big, like he finds out that all these massive goody corporations, like not just Grandi, but the key, the elves of indistinct name,
Yes.
who make cookies. Like all these other goodie makers are, backing and paying for Grandi to be the next president of the forest.
Oh, okay. So, like, basically, she's buying her way to the top.
Oh, it's not just she's buying her way to the top. It's a massive conspiracy because, like, once she is, the president of the force, like, she has a stranglehold on everything. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of corruption. Like, there's probably a raccoon senator that's assassinated and found dead in a fountain.
And you can kind of feel like Granny's gonna win in a landslide.
Yeah.
Because the whole everybody votes for a dictator thing.
Yeah.
And it's like she's got in her like war chest, what they call. She has enough money to almost buy a small island if she wanted to, but she wants to rule the forest so she can strengthen her hold on not just the forest, but maybe even the rest of the world, kind of thing.
Not just the forest, but the entire state park.
Yes.
And it's pretty big. Like I don't know what you want to do. Sell the forest to oil tycoons, or is oil kind of overdone?
No, I think that we find the secret to the goodies is
Orphans.
Yes, like I was gonna say, like almost a Soylent Green type of situation. Like they're the failed, nursery rhymes and everything
Do you
like that.
think it's all those extra children who are addicted to schnitzel? There was a lot of kids who came running for that truck, but
Like,
there was nowhere they came from.
Like
we passed over the Schnitzel guy because we just assume he's a dumb actor, but he's telling us what we want to hear, kind of thing. And the kids are all addicted to the Schnitzel,
He
much
was
like
the
they're
Pied Piper.
exactly just like they're addicted to the goodies that Andy Dick wanted to run.
Boingoniums.
Yeah.
now, maybe they're what's a I think they're made of the old woman in the shoes children.
And she just keeps on producing more and more.
Yeah, like
that would make sense. The Lederhosen and whatnot.
Yeah. And he wants to fatten them up with the Schnitzel so that they get more, product per,
Per pound?
Exactly.
Product per pound?
because at the end of the day, it looked like meat on a stick.
Yeah, like
Schnitzel is meat on a stick.
Is that what it is? What is schnitzel?
It's like Wiener Schnitzel is like Wiener Schnitzel. So it is meat of some sort on a stick.
So basically, it's almost like a Hansel and Gretel scheme.
Yeah.
Like where they're fattened them up to eat them and everything, and like they don't, you don't want to cook and eat a scrawny kid.
It would be too chewy.
Yeah, exactly. So they gotta have nice and fat. It's almost like veal, and that's the kind of goodies they sell. And she's, if she gets ultimate power, not only can she take it from the forest, but from, think of all the kids she can take in, and he is now leading that yodeling thing across the land. He'll probably sell his schnitzel, coast to coast. So this thing's going big. This is going national.
Yeah, he's now national. He's a global star.
So he's not the idiot that we think he is. We don't, we think he's just an actor, but maybe he's acting stupid.
I think he is a. I think he's a plant. Like he, once they activate his cell, that's when he goes full Manchurian Candidate.
And at the center of this, now what Red is doing seems far more sinister.
Yeah.
Because you almost feel like she's an accomplice. You can say unwitting accomplice, but like if Granny goes down,
Yeah.
Red is
definitely going down.
yeah, Red doesn't have the connections that Granny has either.
Like I feel like she, though goodies are the quote unquote goodies are the reason why they say, she says she's going on. I think she's a courier, sending like kind of these secret messages between Granny and the black oily tendrils of the corporations that are controlling her.
Okay. So there, I thought it was going to be the other way around, where Granny is the black oily tendrils corporate.
Well, she will be when she's president, but she has to make a lot of promises to some sketchy people.
Okay.
So do you think she starts off as more of a good intentioned, I'm gonna save the forest by taking it over kind of thing? And then she just keeps making a deal after a deal, and it gets darker and darker.
Power
and then
corrupts.
all of a sudden, she's selling children to eat.
Yep, I think initially it was the ends justify the means thing, until the means don't justify.
I think it, like, when it starts off, like when she started off and she was the young Red and her grandma and everything, I think it was a very wholesome, like, almost mom and pop-ish kind of goodies corporation. Like, it was very small, and it was a very small business, and they were always living, they were happy family, but they were always kind of living paycheck to paycheck, struggling a little bit, like one bad winter puts them out kind of thing.
Okay.
And so, she sees what's happening, and she vows that, when she takes over, that she's never going to let it happen. She's going to find a way to make it more powerful and, stronger, but nothing evil until, she has to make a deal somewhere, and then she has to make another one, and she has to make another one, and then these deals make her more powerful, but she still feels that what she's doing, maybe it's like, this is fine, I'm doing this for all the right reasons. And then there's a point where she's a very young Granny, and she's looking at herself in the mirror, and she's wondering, what happened? Where did I become myself along this way? Now she wants to die, but she doesn't want to just kill herself, so that's why she gets into these extreme sporting events kind of thing, because
she's an adrenaline junkie, and she wants to end it, but not by herself.
Exactly,
kind of on like nature's terms. Like, this is my time. It's my time. Let's do it.
She's she has very little self-regard, but
I don't even want it to be extreme sports anymore. Like, she's in the some basement den in Thailand, playing Russian roulette, where everyone's shouting and passing along money, and like, she has the bandana around her head.
Now, do you imagine the other people sitting around the table are like the gingerbread man and like other nursery rhyme characters?
Oh yeah, it's just a bunch of, like, the three pigs are there, and like
well, two of the pigs are there.
Yeah. I'm trying.
That's dark.
Yeah.
Who
would be the big bad wolf? So, like, is the big bad wolf, do you think, related to our wolf, or do you think that was another, like,
different wolf, but same, like, same family? Like, that was
It's like Uncle Tommy.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened to him. He went rogue after he tried to blow down that house.
He's the reason we have such a stigma around wolves,
He's like the who is that who was that union guy that disappeared?
Oh, Hoffa.
Yeah, Jimmy Hoffa.
Oh, I imagine when he was like blowing down the houses, I imagine he was doing it with like a shotgun. Yeah, he's not a very good wolf.
Right.
So
he
who-
huffed and he puffed and he cocked that shit back.
Yeah, he's like Scarface.
So who's Granny
Snout
facing?
face. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So who's Granny facing? Do you think? In this Russian roulette tournament,
That's a good question.
Pinocchio.
I want it to be like the most cheerful character that you could imagine.
Or should it be one of the 3 blind mice? I mean, they got nothing to lose.
And he's holding like the wrong end. That's his head. Winnie the Pooh. I know he's not technically a nursery rhyme, but
And not technically a public domain, I guess.
yeah, so it maybe works in there.
I guess Mickey Mouse.
No, we're not doing the Mickey Mouse thing.
Oh boy!
Let's do this.
No! No.
No.
No, who is it?
No. No, that's it. Just
No,
no.
just no.
No. I mean,
Oh.
if we were picking any character from anything,
Yeah,
that stuff
that's
is
happening now.
open,
Yeah, it's
then
happening
like,
now.
Beaker.
Beekman.
Beaker from the Muppets.
Yes, not Beekman. Beekman is way too smart to get caught
Well,
up in the underground.
I think he would almost be like a Walter Bishop kind of guy. Like he would be in there and he almost like he knows the odds. He sees where a bullet is. He spins it and he's like almost counting it in his head, so he knows
Right,
that he's
he
not.
knows how hard you have
Yeah.
to do for the rotation. He knows the weight of the bullets.
It's almost like the Sherlock Holmes movie where
Yeah.
he sees it all in his head. All right, let's go, Zaloom.
Fact: a bullet entering your skull at 973 miles an hour.
See, I think if he knows that it's gonna land on where his bullet is, he's gonna like point it at someone else.
right at
and,
somebody
like,
else, and then we bam, and he'll be like, "I knew."
Do you really want to play this game with me? Bada bing, bada boom, bada bang.
Hey Willie.
So yeah, but if we could open this to this Russian roulette game to just anybody, oh my gosh, the possibilities are endless. Like
Winnie the Pooh is a good one. But
I'm in too deep now, Scoob.
Raggy.
Scoob, don't talk. We'll pay for you. I don't know what happened to Scoob, but he needs help.
Is it not Scooby that's doing the?
Oh, it's him versus Scooby on the other side.
Yeah.
What?
It's another Russian.
both in there.
Yeah.
There's another table
Yeah.
that everyone's betting on. It's Scooby versus Shaggy.
One roulette, one rot.
What?
That was a Deer
Goose
Hunter
in the
reference.
corner going like, "Yes, this is my time."
He-
Power!
He's the ref that's yelling at them.
He's like, "Pull the trigger."
Now, do it! Do it!
Slapping him.
And Granny, I'm still.
Who's gonna be her enemy?
Yeah, who's gonna be her rival?
Somebody you definitely wouldn't expect, like Stickly.
Slim Goodbody.
Slim Goodbody. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, bring him in. He's not even a character. He was a person.
Her, it's might as well her versus Mr. Wizard.
Lord Buckethead.
Ernest P. Worrell. That's who
Yes,
she's
yep.
facing.
And every time, they're doing... every time he's putting the gun at her head, it's always a different character. Like Auntie Edna.
I can't
hope I
believe it.
lose this one.
I hope this is the last. I don't know why my auntie
Morgan
is more.
Freeman.
I'm hoping that this bullet is finally the one that takes me.
Oh, I hate this.
Oh man.
Yes.
But,
This is...
if something is too happy, then we will bring it to the dark place.
Like, Hoodwinked in and of itself was just a fun, clever little...
Charming movie.
Yeah, like, it kind of, it almost felt like one of those, fractured, fables from, Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah.
Where you take something you kind of know already, but kind of make it, a little bit more contemporary and a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
And we's like, alright, nope, we can't have this. Can't have happiness or light.
How can we rub the dirt of reality into this?
I know. Granny is in a sweaty ass Russian roulette den.
In Thailand.
Yeah, fighting off against all the other characters that you've loved.
You think before every time she pulls the trigger, she goes, and just remember, critters have feelings too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's...
Good movie. Good movie.
Good movie.
So yeah, on that note, I guess we should just wrap it up. I don't think there's anything that's going to top that.
No.
Probably not, no.
So Hoodwinked, yes, I will agree. Good movie. It suffered from a complete lack of Russian roulette, but other than that, it's pretty good.
Yeah, a very charming movie. I thought it had clever dialogue. It had a lot of fun ideas. It I know I've ragged on the animation, but it is of the date, like of that era. So you kind of gotta give it a bit of a leniency.
Yeah. Watch it. I don't know why Mark is losing his shit right now.
What?
We didn't even say anything.
I'll tell you after it's done.
He's-
You gotta say it now.
No, I don't. We'll use it as the clip for the preview for this episode because it's still
Yikes.
making me laugh.
Oh, okay.
But this is definitely like an excellent movie. Go watch it. It doesn't matter your age. It has the best soundtrack. It really does.
It has a
I'm
pretty
gonna
good
buy that
sound.
$10 digital download, and that's because
Yeah, it's final.
I love it.
All right. So, do you have anything to permit?
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 if everybody could permit.
You gonna permit anything?
Watch my YouTube. I do things. My videos are great. And they'll tell you to watch other movies.
I was just wondering if you're gonna come and watch my videos.
Okay.
That sound good. Anyway, Jenny Calpcho, watch my YouTube.
All right. Well, that'll do it. Take it easy, everybody.
Toodaloo.
Goodbye. Bye-bye.
That'll little SOBs.